Today, we're going to talk about how Hollywood celebrities are quietly acquiring startups and turning them into billion-dollar companies, as well as how you, as a startup founder, can become involved with A-list celebrities that might help you scale your company in ways you didn't even dream of. My name is Anna, and I'm the CEO of Founders Registry, and my company helps facilitate those deals every single day here in Los Angeles. We work with some of the biggest talent agencies in the world to facilitate deals between their talent and our startups, and vice versa. And I have worked with A-list celebrities myself for my companies to sign on advisors and help use their platforms to scale my company. So let's talk about the most recent example of Hailey Bieber selling her company Rhode after only 3 years for $1 billion to e.l.f. Cosmetics. It is the perfect example of how someone's platform and celebrity status can really help a brand scale so rapidly that it sells within 3 years as one of the biggest female founder exits in history, which is truly an incredible achievement. Now, what does Hailey's success have to do with you as a startup founder? Easy. What a lot of people don't know is that it's absolutely within reach for startup founders to get celebrities to become involved with your business. Why is that the case? Celebrities have teams, and those teams are responsible to ensure that the wealth of their client keeps growing. Having equity into startups is always part of the strategy. Now, that can happen in different ways. A celebrity might invest in startups. Almost every celebrity that I know is an LP in venture capital funds. Or they have their own family office, such as, for example, Beyoncé and Jay-Z, who heavily invest in startups. Or Serena Williams, for example, who started her own venture capital firm and does phenomenal work in who she invests in. I'm going to keep it real with you. Getting celebrities as investors is really hard, unless you know someone that knows someone. But here's another option to work with them. You can sign on celebrities in exchange for equity. So instead of them giving you money and becoming an investor in your company, you give them equity and they help you with their platform. There's something similar happening right now in the creator economy where a lot of influencers are starting to become heavily involved with startups, and startups are starting to heavily reach out to influencers in order to save millions of dollars in marketing budget by working closely with the creator economy. I posted another video about that, breaking down how Alex Earl, for example, helped Poppy get acquired for $2 billion. And I'm also breaking down more how these deals look like, and I'm giving you some examples for equity and what you ask for in exchange. So you can watch that video if you're interested in working with influencers too, or if you're an influencer interested in working with startups. Now, for celebrities, it works usually a little bit different. I'm going to break down for you based on the assumption that you might not have access to people in Hollywood, but you have an incredible company. What most people don't know is that all of the biggest talent agencies, such as CAA, WME, and others, they have their own departments whose only job it is to look at startup deals and look at which one of them they want to present to their clients. And getting meetings with those departments is obviously much easier than meeting your favorite celebrity in person. I remember the first time I had a meeting with someone in one of those departments, and I showed up at their office, and their office was filled with products of startups because startups were pitching them every single day to please consider their brands for one of their clients. Now, this can go a few different ways. Sometimes you might know a brand of one of your favorite celebrities, but what you might not know is that was actually an existing startup where the founder got replaced with the celebrity. So you, as the consumer, only know this company as the company of a celebrity. What you might not know is that this company has actually been around for a few years as a startup, founded by someone completely different, but they entered into a deal with that celebrity that then replaced them as the face of the company. That is one of the ways that these kind of deals can happen. And most companies owned by celebrities have actually been started like that. So I'm going to break that down for you a little bit more. But then there's also the other side where all they might give you is their platform to promote your product. So you're still the founder, you're still the CEO of your company, but a celebrity gets involved and becomes an advisor of the company, which will then help you raise capital. And it will help you because hopefully they're going to become a big fan of your product and talk about it on their social media, in interviews, and on the red carpet as often as possible. But both of these things are possible when you work with the departments that connect startups and brands with celebrities. Now, here's one of the biggest mistakes I see founders make when they're trying to get a celebrity involved with their brand. They will pitch to the manager or to the agent or to whoever they can get connected with to either get investment from a celebrity or get them as an advisor. What you need to understand is that their team gets paid a percentage of the money they make. So your job as the founder is to figure out how do you get their team excited to champion your deal with their clients, because equity is not going to pay their bills. So if you're profitable, one of my favorite things to do is to propose a little bit of a different deal that might not make sense to you on the surface, because that person already has so much money. Why do they need more? Why do they need profit shares in a startup? It's not about them, it's about their team. So how I like to structure those deals for our companies is, for example, we have a startup here, we have the celebrity here, and we're asking for them to become an advisor. They're going to get an equity percentage because they're an advisor. And additionally to that, we're going to pay out quarterly a percentage of the profits to them. Now that helps you in two ways. Number one, you're going to let the team know that they will actually get a cut of the money that the celebrity makes for the sale. And the person that gets involved with your brand has a much higher incentive to promote you as much as possible because they know every 3 months they will get a direct deposit of the profits onto their bank account. So it's a win-win situation. But especially when you're talking to agencies, it really helps to explain to them how they can make money from championing the deal for you. With that being said, you also need to treat them like human. For example, when we target a specific celebrity for one of my founders, I always tell them the first thing we're going to do is to include their entire team on our PR list. We're going to be generous. We're going to send big PR packages. We're going to send handwritten notes. And we're going to make sure that we're not using their entire team as stepping stones because that's how they're being treated here in Hollywood every single day anyways. We're going to treat them as human and we're going to be respectful. For example, if you know that the assistant of a celebrity just had a baby and you have a baby brand, make sure to include in the handwritten note, congratulations, I'm so happy for you. We also wanted to gift you something. Trust me when I'm telling you, those gestures go a long way. And you might think that's common sense, but you would be very surprised to hear how many people treat the team around a celebrity just as means to an end. And so it does make a difference how you show up when you enter those circles and how you treat people. So those are the first two steps. You need to make sure that whatever you offer has incentives for the team as well, not just for the celebrity. Number two, how do you get the team excited about your product? And how do you nurture those relationships?